Welcome back to FedBiz Exchange. I'm Michelle Brown, your coach and your mentor. And today it's time for Ask Michelle B. The question relates to the middleman partnership business model. Dennis wants to know, how can I make consulting work with government contracts? This is part one because Dennis has some loaded questions, but let's get into it.
Hi, Michelle. My name is Dennis Briggs. Thanks so much for the content that you put out on YouTube. Trying to learn the government contracting space from the start, so really appreciate everything you're doing. Love watching your videos. I had a question about the model of being a middleman. I have a busy job as well, work in investment banking, but trying to do something entrepreneurial. So as far as the model, I noticed that you often talk about getting manufacturing partners and business partners, service partners. But I was trying to weigh that up against the idea of a pass-through scheme and looking at 452.4, I think it is, where some of the rules talk about how much of the contract that the prime contractor has to perform. Just wanted to clarify on what it is that you mean when you say like you find service partners to handle the contract. I know it's a question that you often get, but would love to clarify from you, because I am thinking about coming from somewhat of a consulting standpoint, kind of model. So just wanted to clarify on how you go about that. Are you looking for opportunities and then connecting them with service partners? Would just love some more clarification on that, so I can move forward with confidence and hopefully take your course coming up sometime in March. All right, thanks again, Michelle. Appreciate it. Bye bye.
Hi, Dennis. Thank you so much for your question. People are still trying to figure out this middleman concept. I believe that the way I'm breaking this down, giving you these different scenarios, it will help you and others to understand middleman is not exactly as it appears to be in the traditional way. So thank you for your kind words and thank you for your question. And I hope that this will help you to make a decision and move to the next level of becoming a government contractor. I know you want to keep your investment job, which is a very smart idea, until you've built up your government contracts. You can do it. You just need to get your vision together. Okay? So I'm going to help you do that. So let's take this first scenario, scenario one. In this scenario, you found a janitorial contract. You've heard they're very lucrative. You'd like to do some janitorial contracts, but you don't want to do the work and you don't have the experience. So this is what would happen. This is you in the blue. You're the consultant, the so-called middleman. This is the middleman model. You know someone that does janitorial contracts, or you figure you can go and find someone, a small business that does janitorial contracts, bring them in, but they tell you they're a small outfit and they cannot actually do all of the work themselves, because this could be a multi-million dollar contract that lasts for 3 to 4, even 5 years. That's how these contracts, these types of service contracts go. So you need to find a person or a janitorial company that is competent. Okay, so let's say you want to work with a small company, because if you work with a larger company, you're going to pay them a lot more. They're going to nickel and dime you to death, especially when they find out you don't know how to do the work. So you need to keep the information to a minimum. You need to work with someone that maybe has never been in government contracting, but they do a great job. Okay, you're bringing them into a new arena. So you go and find a janitorial contractor that's small, but they tell you they can't do the job by themselves. They need help. You go and find them another subcontractor, maybe another small firm that's willing to be a subcontractor and be a support system for the smaller contractor. Now, if you look at this label, I have this arrow that says, it's in purple, it says that this janitorial contractor, this one in green that you brought together to meet the requirements for this janitorial contractor, they become the prime. In this business model, you can't be the prime. At least this is what you're telling me you want to do. You don't want to be totally involved. Now, if you're going to be totally involved, that changes this business model, and I'll show you the next one. But this is you just being a consultant, not doing any work, not spending a lot of time on managing people, things like that. So this green contractor becomes the prime. Here's why. They have all of the experience, the knowledge, and they're willing to manage the contract. You are saying you just want to be a consultant. You don't want to manage the contract. So you transfer all of that to the janitorial contractor, the small team, and you bring in another subcontractor. You pull these people together. Okay? But this green janitorial contractor, they become the prime. And guess what happens to you? You wait for this person to pay you after they've won the contract and after the contract starts. You have no control over the money in this scenario. This is why I don't like the idea of middleman. Someone finding a contract, bringing two entities together to make money, and then you get paid as a consultant. It doesn't work that way. It can work that way, but it doesn't work that way for you getting the money. You need to make sure that you could get your money. Here's the thing. If this person becomes the prime, you can't control any of the money. So this scenario is not what I recommend that people do. You go get a contract, or you find contracts and you connect all the people together. I don't recommend it. You cannot control anything about this contract. They could screw up the contract. You have no control over them. You also have absolutely no control over the money, because the government is going to pay these people, not you. You may never get your money. Even if you have a contract, you don't want to start out in government contracting doing this scenario. So scenario 2 is what I do recommend. I recommend that if you're going to do consulting as it relates to government contracting, you must be the prime. You cannot allow anyone else to be in that role. That is where the 51% comes in legally. If you're going to be the prime, you will need to be the person to communicate with the contracting officers, to manage the contract, making sure that all requirements are being met, to work with the subcontractors to ensure that they're doing their jobs. You just need to get competent subcontractors. That way, you don't feel like you're doing everyone's job. You need to manage the paperwork, you need to manage the contracting officers, and you need to manage the subcontractors. So you don't need to know everything about janitorial services. You do need to understand how to price flooring, how to price dusting, how to price room by room. Those things you do need to understand, but you don't need to be involved in the cleaning itself. That's why you would have a subcontractor. This is what I do recommend. You control the money, you control the people, you control the activities, and that's all you need to do. Now, because it's a service contract, it could take you a little bit more time, but you could do something else as I describe in scenario 3. Finally, Dennis, we have scenario 3. I believe this might be a good choice for you because you have a lucrative career right now that you need to focus on. But working with defense logistics, winning contracts through DIBS, could be an ideal situation for you right now. You will not have to do service contracts, but you could sell the government products that they buy, millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of different types of products. It's easier for you to transition into DIBS, defense logistics. All you would need to do is look for the types of products you would like to sell to the government through DLA, defense logistics, get into a program, which would be my DIBS program, or start watching my videos just to learn how DIBS works, how to get set up. Then, when you're ready, you could get into the program, and then you would have access to me through coaching and development. But this is the smarter route for you if you do not want to do management consulting of people and large situations. And quite frankly, I think this is the smarter thing to do while you are still involved in your career.